Ladies and gentlemen, g'day, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to round 4 of these auctions here on the APAC server, and hopefully on the EU in the next few hours. I think it's like 5 hours from now, and the NA, which is probably going to be in about 10 to 11 hours, not sure. Anyway, let's get straight into it. The first of is the Badger. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the Badger is the T10 collector tank that is currently in the auction for 15,000 gold. Let's not beat around the bush. This thing is an absolute beast. This is honestly such a formidable tank destroyer. It really is. It's very, very strong. It's got very strong armor profile. It's got a fantastic gun. It just sings. It's got great DPM. So the whole armor, the actual armor itself is 215 mils. There are some weak points on this thing that you can actually pen pretty easily if you've got enough pen. But I mean, if you're using the full 10 degrees gun depression that this thing has, it's just absolutely devastating. So you got to watch out. This is a very, very good tank, is what I'm trying to say. Right. It's got 3,300 DPM. You can probably bounce that up with provisions and maybe a gun rammer if you don't want to run calibrated shells. Probably to about 3,500 DPM. It's an basically an 8-second reload, let's face it. 275 mils of APCR pen, I should probably add. Heat is 370, 110 on your HE, basically cheap hesh. If you're running this with calibrated shells, you can probably bump that up to about 125 mils, which is quite nice indeed. But yeah. And of course, it's a 460 alpha gun. And with that cheap hash, you're doing about 550 alpha, which is fantastic. Your dispersion is 0.355, not the best. It's not the most accurate tank, 4.3 second aim time, but it does feel more accurate than the statistics seem to make it out to be. And as I said, it has 10 degrees of gun depression, which is quite nice indeed. And it has 10 degrees of gun arc left and right, which is not bad at all. It is quite slow, 36 km/h speed limit, but I mean, it's an absolute beast. This is a beast of a tank. And for 15,000 gold, it's not bad. Not a bad price at all. But I would highly recommend anyone who wants to purchase this thing, just wait for it to decrease in price. Just wait for the next price drop and then go purchase it. Don't spend your gold on purchasing at its full price. Just wait for it to get cheaper. I know in Asia, you're only limited to 125 tanks, and on EU there's more than 1,000 per tank, so it's not fair, obviously, but it is what it is. We're just gonna have to live with it. So yeah, that's the Badger. FCM 50T. You know what? I'm not even gonna bother with this tank. This tank is just crap. It's one of the worst tanks at tier 8. It's big, it's massive, it's got no armor, it's just hideous. I mean, the gun is great. It's very mobile, but other than that, it's just a crap tank. I mean, yeah, it's got 138 mils on the front of the hull, but like, look how flat it is. The turret, 180, fantastic. Look how easily pennable it is. It's just a rubbish tank. It's rubbish. Not worth even spending your gold on this one. Don't even bother with it. I mean, this was a Tech Tree premium tank at one point. Like, who cares? Anyway, so yeah, not worth 7,500 gold. Object 252U. Now, there's someone, yeah, I've spoken to a few people, and one particular person loves this tank so much. Like, they swear by this tank. They say that this is the best tier 8 heavy tank in the game, blah, blah, blah. And look, don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic heavy tank, right? It's got all the right recipes for a good heavy tank. It's got a smashingly good turret, 250 mils on the front. It's got 130 mils on the front of the hull. Look how steep those angles are on the frontal armor. If you're putting this thing in a situation where you're blocking that massive lower plate, and you're just focusing using your turret armor and your hull armor, you're going to basically auto ricochet. You're going to auto ricochet all day long. It's going to sing. Right, but again, if you over angle, you do these ones, mate, they're going to pen you straight out. They're going to pen right through your front of the turret right there, the front of your tank right there. So this is a pike nose. You need to be wary. You need to be facing directly. Technically speaking, you can't really side scrape. You can, but don't try to do it very often. It's a 120mm. You're doing 420 alpha, which is quite nice. DPM is quite abysmal. I mean, it's under 2,000 DPM, but again, that's what tier 8 heavy tanks have with the 120mm. 13 second Reload, 225 mils on AP, 265 on your APCR. Not the best, but decent enough. 5.4 second aim time is abysmal. 0.39 dispersion, again, not that good. But it does have 6 degrees of gun depression, which again is not that good. And it does 35 kilometers per hour speed limit, which is quite nice indeed. For 7,500 gold, it's not a bad deal, but I would definitely wait until this tank is cheaper. Now, this is the one I wanted to talk about, the SU-130PM. Look how quickly the tanks are getting sold out at 7,500 gold. This is my favorite tier 8 tank in the game. This thing, the SU-130PM. What an absolutely fantastic tank this is. This is honestly such a good tank. This is better than the Scorpion G, and I will fight this claim till my grave. This is better than the Scorpion G, without a shadow of the doubt. Okay? This has an auto ricochet area here on the front of the tank. That area here, right? You're going to bounce. You can bounce shots in this thing. It's stupid. It is stupid. It's fast. It's nimble. It's got a fantastic gun. What more do you want? It's a very good tank. It's got 2,600 DPM. If you're, running it with full provisions, you could probably get it up to about 2,800 DPM, 10.58 second reload. So yes, the Scorpion G technically has better DPM than this, but I mean, it's infinitesimal when you compare the two. 245 mils of AP pen, heat is 318. I would probably recommend running this thing with calibrated shells, just so you have more of a chance to pen those tier 9 tanks that you come up against. 460 alpha, beautiful. 600 on your HE. It's got 0.262 dispersion with a 3 second aim time. Beautiful. Great accuracy. And 7 degrees of gun depression, which is quite nice. So yeah, it does only traverse 70 degrees to the left and to the right, the turret, so just be wary of that. Unlike the Scorpion G, which can go all around. And it does go 50 kilometers per hour, which is very, very nice. Overall, this, in my opinion, is the better tank to have. Okay, look at that. It's already gone down to 28 tanks. It's going to get sold out by the time this video comes out in the next an hour and a half. This is going to be sold out. And the Badger as well probably is going to be sold out too. It's pretty crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this video. Hopefully you are excited for this 4th round of auction tanks in the game. Again, this is just for APAC right now. Don't worry, EU's coming in 5 hours. You guys will have plenty of tanks. I would suggest waiting for these prices to drop. Don't just purchase them at the prices they are now. But for me, if I had to pick one out of all of these, 100% the SU-130PM, and probably, if you want a T10 tank, the Badger. That would be my pick. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Look after yourselves, look after your friends and family. Peace in the Middle East as always, and stay safe on the battlefield. Bye for now, and love you all.